Do you like the setup that I've prepared for us? It's beautiful, isn't it? It just started raining and it's getting all cozy and you're basically just in time. I know, it's nice and refreshing, right? From the heat that we've been having the past weeks. Do you want something to drink? I recently bought lots of sodas to try out. Yeah, like this one for example. Have you tried this one before? It's Kiwi and strawberry Fanta. I'm curious. Because you see, where I come from, we don't have those different flavor Fantas. We just have one. And that's the orange one. But it's not even orange, believe it or not. The packaging is orange, but the drink itself is yellow. And it's just some kind of citrus. Do you want to try these with me? Okay, there you go. Just gonna put yours here. So exciting. We can have like our own little summer celebration. Just the two of us. That did come out very loud. Smell? That smells interesting. It smells really sweet. I'm not used to drinking very sweet things. Eating maybe a little. Let's try this then. I'm sorry, I'm having a moment here with my soda. What? I should have known about this for way longer than I have. What? This is so delicious. I know, I swear, try. This is so good. This tastes like... I know what this tastes like. Do you remember those little lollipops that come on rings? Those ring pops? They were super popular when I was a child. Yes, everybody was just walking around like... just sucking on their middle fingers like toddlers. But they were so yummy, and there was one that was this exact flavor, pretty much. Just a little sweeter because it was pure sugar. I'm not going to check how much sugar is in it. I refuse. I refuse to ruin the evening for us. I know. It's so nice out there. Do you want some snacks maybe? I have some really yummy snacks too. I have different rice crackers. I have these ones that are really yummy. plain salty rice crackers, and that white star that you see on top there, that's just icing. Yes. It sounds weird, but it's actually a really delicious flavor combo. I also have these ones. They come with seaweed on them, and the glaze on top what makes them orange is a kind of sweet and savory and spicy soy sauce. It tastes really yummy. So please help yourself if you like. Oh, I got something even better. Do you want to see it? Okay. I got some sparklers for us. I've never tried these ones out before. Do you want to try them? They just look beautiful. You can't tell which is which, I don't think. But I've just recently ordered a bunch for occasions like this, you know. Get back inside. I know, I've always loved sparklers. I was kind of scared of them though. As a child, I got in trouble with my parents because it was like New Year's, and that's about the only time when they really sell sparklers in the stores here for Christmas and New Year's, and I insisted on lighting some, and I wanted my parents to hold them because like they're adults, and I was like afraid of the sparks and that they would hurt when they hit my skin. My mom said they wouldn't hurt, but I didn't believe her. And so my parents lit one and then gave me the one to hold. And when like the spark ran down and came closer to my hand, I just dropped it on the carpet, and I burned a hole in the carpet. It's a fun story. Yeah, it happens. So let's make sure not to let that happen today. I'm just gonna get some distance here. And can you see this? This is so awesome. That was awesome. Let's do it again. Oh my god. I need like 10 more of these. What? The excitement. I hope that didn't wake my neighbors up. This is just... Do you like this? Yeah, I kind of fell in love with this just now. Are you having a good time? Because I'm having the best time ever. I did not expect this to be this good. I don't think I can go back now. I think this is the only Fanta I can drink now. This is so yummy. I'm so happy. Do you want to try a new sparkler? Oh, what color do you think it'll be? They come in different colors. Well, never mind. I already gave it away. They all kind of look the same in the dark packaging. I guess with the red ones you have to be a bit more careful, but still so good. This is so pretty. And I'm so glad I got rid of the smoke alarms. No, it's fine, I promise. Because you see, the deal with those smoke alarms was that they would go off at absolutely everything. It was so annoying. I had one right up there, and my kitchen is that way, right? And whenever I would cook bacon in the kitchen, that alarm right there would go off. So annoying. And I had one way right there in the hallway where you came inside. And next to that is the bathroom. And when I would blow dry my hair in the bathroom, and I would fill the room with steam, and I would open the door, that other alarm would go off, and I hated it so much. I complained to the maintenance guy about it, and he was just like, you know, there's this little thingy, you can just go up and you can just like twist those thingies right there, and then they come off, and then they will never go off again. But yeah, I've been having no trouble cooking or blow drying my hair ever since. I don't know how smokers do it. Theirs should be going off like 24/7 if all it takes is like frying bacon in the kitchen. Do you want to do another sparkler? Let's try a green one. Sorry, the red one kind of littered everywhere. I'll clean it up later. Let's try to get a green one. Oh yeah, that looks green. Are you excited for this one? They do make a mess, yeah. But they're so pretty. It just stopped raining. All I can hear now is little tiny droplets. Yeah, good timing, I know. I even brought something for entertainment. I mean, besides the sparklers. Which those are awesome. I'm so glad I bought them. But I brought a book I thought you might like because I know you like that stuff. That's what we have in common. It looks interesting, doesn't it? Yeah, I've already read a little bit out of it, just a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. It's really interesting. My friend Tara gave me this. It has all the signs in there. And like what signs they're compatible with and stuff. And I guess a short description for all of them. Comes in chapters. There's the index. Do you want me to read the introduction for you? Okay. Now, gladly. So, sexual chemistry is mysterious. We can't always explain why we desire someone or feel a ping of attraction. This feeling bypasses our brains, makes us feel alive, and enhances all human communication. Sex can mark the beginning of a romance, a marriage, or an outrageous fling. There is just some special tingle between you and that person that only one thing, sex, will satisfy. Sometimes one person has the feeling the other doesn't. Not to worry, with a little effort in this handy book you will be prepared to do everything possible to encourage a sexy relationship and get to know your own sexual personality. That sounds good, doesn't it? Cheers to that. I'll just get comfy here. Get a little bit closer. There is a lot of sexual posturing in the media today, and a great deal of talk about who is sexy and who is not. Sex sells cars and breakfast cereals. In the movies, we are titillated by passion. The media give us lots of images and sexy ideas, but these images may not reflect our own sexual personalities, which are as individual and varied as other parts of our personalities. Astrology is one of the finest ways of investigating the unique currents of energy and desire that influence a person's sexuality. Understanding a person's sun sign gives you a personal sex manual to guide you toward what you and your lover will enjoy. As you read this book, you will begin to appreciate the myriad ways people express themselves. The hot and not so hot combinations sections deal with the archetypes of astrology. Many not so hot matches or traditionally challenging combinations have had great flings or long relationships. If you find that you're attracted to someone who doesn't rate according to the good matches, follow your own instincts, heart, and libido. The description of these matches is intended to give you a guideline, not permission or denial. Sexual chemistry is, after all, somewhat unfathomable. It's also because there's not all to astrology. Your sun sign is not all to your personality. And there's a lot more going on there. So, you have this birth chart. There are 12 houses. Each house is governed by a different sign. You have planets that are in different houses and in different signs, different degrees. It's really quite complicated. So reading a book like this, it's kind of like reading a simplified version of something. Yeah. As you read this book, you will notice that each sign has several aspects. A sign has a gender, male or female, and an element, fire, water, air, or earth. All the water and earth signs are considered female, and all the air and fire signs are considered male. In addition to this element, each sign is categorized as one of 3 qualities: cardinal, fixed, or mutable. The cardinal signs initiate and lead each season. The fixed signs reign when the season is well established, and the mutable signs are changeable, partaking of one season and moving into the next one. Finally, each sign has a ruling planet that exemplifies the characteristics of the sign. Check Appendix A to find the gender, element, quality, and ruling planet of your sign. The 2 astrological planets that most concern sexual appetites, desires, and styles are Venus and Mars. Venus, or Aphrodite in ancient Greek mythology, was the goddess of beauty and erotic love. Mars, or Aries, was the god of war. There you have the pleasure and battle between the sexes in a nutshell. Every person has Venus and Mars located in a sign in their chart, and the placement of Mars and Venus will describe the yin and yang, or receptive and assertive dynamic, in their lives. The placement of Venus and Mars has nothing to do with sexual preference, as a man can be very yin and receptive, and a woman can be very yang and assertive. In addition to reading the information included in the sun sign section, Appendix A, consider the placement of Venus and Mars in your and your lover's chart. You will find the astrological placements according to your birth year in Appendix B. Sex requires 2 to tango, and the insights in the Everything Sex Science book were written for both men and women. Whether he is the pursuer and she is the pursued, or vice versa, getting to know your sex sign profile will encourage you and your lover to communicate in the most delightful and intimate way possible. Don't think too much. Read this book, feel, and explore. It will bring smiles to you and your lover's faces. Well, I sure hope so. That's really good stuff. Very good stuff. I like that stuff. Oh, okay. Which sign do you want me to read? Should we just start with Aries? It happens to be my sun sign. Okay. Aries is numero uno and likes it that way. I did not expect to be called out like that in the first sentence. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and it begins at the vernal equinox. Aries' element is fire, and he blazes his trail with dashing verve. In ancient Greeks, Aries was a name for the planet Mars and symbolized the god of war. Aries may appear to have calmed some bellicose tendencies, but in the bedroom his warlike ancestors definitely predominate. The curled horns that grace the ram are symbols of fertility and libido. Impetuosity is Aries' trademark. The curled horns. Okay, I have a bit of an obsession with the ram. The conqueror. Aries is a leader and will be in hot pursuit of anyone who has caught his attention. Life and sex are contests to Aries, and it doesn't matter if the prize is a kiss, he wants to win. All the fire signs are intuitive and inspirational in all areas of their lives. Aries is the first fire sign and leads the pack in terms of ardor and high energy. From reveille in the morning, Aries is ready to charge through the day, investigating what members of the opposite sex she can charm and seduce into playing on her team. Aries wants her fiery energy to burn the someone, and like a frisky ram, she hunts for a lover to play with. Yeah. She likes to conquer, but not dominate. It is a fine distinction. She is not violent, but instead extremely passionate, and welcomes someone who will seduce her after he first shows resistance. If her potential meets resistance really is rejection, she will speedily leave for a more likely prospect. But until she gets the message that no means no sex for you, she will charge into the fray. Well, that how it works out. You'll see why. There can be a thin line between aggression and violence. Aries is not an out-of-control sign and does not usually explode with temper the way Taurus can. But biting, slapping, wrestling, and fooling around with belts can be very alluring and sexy activities for Aries. He likes the pursuit of sex as much as the deed itself. With all his fire, he needs a lot of passionate contact. A cute cuddle or tame affection will not satisfy the ram. Moving from a one-night stand to a more consistent relationship is a challenge for Aries. It does happen, and if you are unsure what your status is, ask. Aries will be clear on his point, but can be persuaded to keep the fire going if there's enough spice between you. Aries loves spicy tastes. Seduction by chili pepper may not be listed in a sex manual, but try cooking or eating Mexican food consistently with your Aries. Chances are you will have a great time in bed. I do like spicy food, such as these crackers right there. I really like these. Just the right amount of spice. These are wonderful. Do you recommend them? Yeah, I just sent Jack some in his package. So good. Wanna move on? Okay. What turns Aries on and off? Yes. Of course, everybody wants to know that. So let me just stall for like 5 minutes. Do you find drinking out of cans difficult? I find it tricky sometimes. Alright, there we are. There's a certain sparkle in a person's eye when contemplating a fine time in bed. It can happen walking down the street when you catch someone's eye. Wait. You can't actually see that, can you? I'm totally not casually thinking about how many people could have seen that like the last time I was out. Okay, okay, it can happen walking down the street when you catch someone's eye, or in the midst of a boring meeting when that curly-haired cutie looks at you from across the conference table. The sparkle is a major turn-on for Aries. It promises everything and demands nothing. Getting together with Aries is easy because she is so turned on by the possibilities of sex with different people. She is a woman of her word, so if she decides to be in a faithful, committed relationship, you can believe her, but until that time, playing the field is a delight. Another turn-on is a quick-paced person. Aries does not like to hang around for languid or slow-moving people. He speaks quickly, expresses himself with large gestures, and likes to pop into bed, pop out, and then maybe pop in again. Getting bored is almost as painful for Aries as it is for Gemini. That is very true. Aries can be a champagne lover. Bubble, bubble, then go flat. If Aries is interested in art or wane, or his attention moves to something else, there is usually no getting things back on track. There are too many other people and possibilities waiting to be conquered. Another turn-on is a physically fit body that can accommodate athletic and vigorous sex. You know those people who give you a firm handshake that is almost too firm but feels good? Aries in bed is like that. Very definite energy and very definite wants. A major turn-on is deciding on the sexual plan of action and executing it. With Aries, there won't be much conversation, just a few agreed upon cues and full throttle ahead. Aries are hot-blooded and have higher than normal fevers when ill. This is the normal way their bodies repel infection. It also means that even when they are sick, they're usually horny. I'd have to test that out. I don't get sick often. Do you? I can't actually remember the last time I was really sick. I sometimes get symptoms of a cold, but then it goes away after like a day or two. I don't know what that's all about. A turn-off for Aries is anyone who has a generic sex machine. Who is a generic sex machine? What would such a machine look like if, never mind. A person who gets physical just to do it without any consideration of the person and the fun leading up to it will not appeal to Aries. Aries likes sex, but if it is without at least a feeling of camaraderie, the experience will not be satisfying or fun. The machine is cold and Aries is hot. Okay, I'll stop. No, I'm having too good of a time here. Sexual role-playing is also a turn-off for Aries. She wants the real body-to-body experience without a lot of however you say that. Besides, putting the imagination to work to cook up a fantasy of the Virgin and Adela and the Hun could be better spent just enjoying each other between the sheets. No arguments there. The role-playing can be quite a lot of fun. It depends. It depends on how realistic and immersive the roleplay is. Aries is turned off by injustice. This consideration may not be evident for a romp in bed, but a person who may be attractive and sexy but treats other people in a snobbish or superior way will not find his way into Aries' heart or bed. I dated one person like this. I broke up with them fairly quickly. Aries' strength and specialities. Sheer physical stamina is a great strength of Aries. Midnight, 2 p.m., 6 a.m., or afternoon delight. It is all hunky-dory with Aries. Aries also does not need much lead time. The time from the first tingle to getting into bed is usually quick and without complications. And that's how you like your things to be, right? Just like quick and smooth. If Aries wants you and you're willing, there will not be a lot of coy foreplay or wooing. There will be some foreplay. But I usually get impatient during foreplay. Like very, very impatient and very, very desperate. That's a turn on. Moving on. Think of Petruchio and Kate in Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew. He conquers, and she allows herself to be conquered. And in their fashion, they live happily ever after. Perhaps they were both Aries. Oral pleasure is a-okay with Aries because it is a quick solution when there might not be enough time for the whole enchilada. There's usually time. Oral sex usually takes longer than regular. Maybe that's just us. Aries is wholeheartedly in favor of nipping into a handy closet for a little nookie if the situation presents itself. Oh yes, she is not modest. No arguments there. It is usually so charming that you won't be able to tell whether the flush on her face is from the great idea she has had or from a tryst in the supply closet. Tryst. Did I say this right? I'm not sure about some words still. There's even more trivia. Okay, in addition to peppery tastes, the smell of strong coffee and the spice cardamom are scents Aries love. Coffee. You can always get me with coffee. Oh yes, last year I got lots of different Dunkin' Donuts coffee from a fan, and it is delicious. We don't have Dunkin' Donuts where I'm from, so I can't even begin to describe my love of this coffee. I want to try so many different flavors in the future. Yeah, I even bought an espresso maker just specifically to be able to prepare this coffee. Yeah, totally worth it. I've even started cleaning it regularly. But that's a different story. It's really good. I think my favorite one so far is the s'mores one. But there was also one called caramel coffee cake. That was also really, really delicious. I know, right? It's the best present ever. Like, I will never say no to receiving coffee in my P.O. box. Right? Who would say no to that? A tea person. Maybe. But you can like tea and coffee at the same time. That's a thing, I swear. Alright. Brew up a pot of coffee and your Aries will make haste to get you and the Java. Reminds me of the first day vacation. Aries is weaknesses and foibles. As you may guess, Aries' love of speedy conclusions can be a weakness. An Aries guy may be so eager that he has a tendency to ejaculate prematurely. There's always another chance, and perhaps even another, but until you get the timing coordinated, this may be a problem. For those signs that love consistency and dependability, whether in the act or in a relationship, Aries is not the one for you. And Aries has too much energy to limit himself to one relationship until he decides to marry. When Aries is with a person, he will give his all, but there may be a few others who are also receiving his all. Polyamory is great. How are you enjoying this book so far? That's good. Me too. It's really fun. I love it. Aries is not keen on the finer points of lovemaking. Sensuality doesn't interest her as much as immediate hot and sudden sex because her sexuality is hot and sudden. I mean, sensuality is, it makes for great foreplay. No arguments there. Stimulation can be from bodies, external sounds, and rhythms like music or percussion. Island sounds like a steel drum are especially evocative. We've got to test that out sometime. Fact: the best gift for Aries are red sweaters. No. Red silk underwear, red t-shirts, or red anything. I mean, I like red, but I usually don't wear much besides black. Almost everything I own is black. I mean, the little rams here have little red eyes that makes them look demonic. I love that. Can you see that? They're probably too small, but this is also red, the thing I'm wearing. It's so pretty, isn't it? Yeah, I love that so much. No, I made that myself. Yeah, I swear. Got one of these little stones. I can't determine what that is. It looks like a mix of different stones. It looks like a mix of agate, because it's like stripy, cat eye, because it's like shiny, but the color is something else. And it has like a wine red, wild, like suede leather band here. It's like a layered choker. It is one piece, but it's just layered. Well, if you want one like this, I can make one for you. I sell these in my shop. It's adorable, isn't it? Yeah. Recently I'm really big on making chokers and stuff. And the thing that I put the stone on is just little tiny copper ribbon. It's like solid copper, just like tiny little threads, and they're just like braided into your ribbon. It's pretty solid, sturdy. Yeah, you can check it out if you like. I can give you the address later. Mm-hmm. Want to hear more about Aries and sex? Of course you do. I am digging this red drink. I will give it that much. Look, it's getting light out. I know, but I'm just having so great of a time. I don't want this party to end yet. What about you? I'm glad you agree. I will at least finish reading. Okay, that's a lot. I will at least finish reading the description and then look up some signs if you like, some combinations. For Aries, sexual communication has to happen in the context of activity. Aries doesn't like to chat or have lengthy discussions about what worked and what didn't. He is helpless without the enthusiasm of doing. Talking is a mental activity and boring. To work things out between you, try this approach. Take his hand, put it where you need it, and let nature take its course. Aries will assume if you have long discussions that you just don't like him and will shut down the heater and scoot. Well, that's sad. The Aries man. Aries is by definition a masculine sign. The Aries guy is comfortable with being male and loves the fact that he is a boy. He will retain a boyish charm throughout his life. I think the same goes for women too. I've never complained about being a woman. Except during periods, because that's painful as hell. I have some remedies for it. I can share if you want. You will always know where you stand with an Aries fling, and everything up until marriage is a fling. There can be a brash quality to a lot of Aries men that belies the sensitivity beneath the ram's energy. Aries men are not sentimentally sensitive, but they look out for the underdog and are protective. That's true. Yep. If an Aries man sees a woman he has the hots for and she is being unfairly treated, it will add fuel to the pursuit. That is so true. I cannot begin to describe how accurate this is. I mean, if I were an Aries man, for me this is accurate. Saving a damsel in distress, even if it leads to a fist fight, is a great turn-on for Aries. Yeah, the same goes for being protected and being saved. Yeah, so many people grow up with this need being unmet. But it's a great feeling. Aries' head is an erogenous zone, stroking the brow, luxuriating the hair, kissing the nose, and massaging the ears and cheeks are special turn-ons. Massaging cheeks, you say? Or ears? Such as like this. Or like this. Okay. In terms of style, Aries likes clothes that feel comfortable. He has a touch of the dashing and may enjoy clothes that are snazzy and suggestive of different historical time periods. Even if he is not very athletic, he will have sporty clothes. I don't think I have those. I mean, besides leggings. But leggings are just like leggings. I have combat boots for hiking. Or beating people's ass if I need to. I mean, there are a few candidates here in the neighborhood. We're not going to mention those. Temper flare-ups are common with Aries men. They are not people who are full of rage, but instead they feel anger whenever the team lets them down, the world is unjust, and they don't get the lady they want. They get their problem off their chests and move on to the next campaign. Lastly, Aries the Conqueror wants to know that his battle equipment is grade A, in fine working order, and better than the other guys. Aw, that's so cute. Compliments about this part of his anatomy are essential, not exactly because he feels insecure, but because it's a potent turn-on to know that in your eyes, he ranks the size and desirability apartment. He ranks in, size and desirability apartment. I mean, he's an Aries woman. I'd like to give compliments like this. Because I feel like anybody would enjoy that. There we are already. The Aries woman. This woman was born a leader, even if she tries to be one of the gang. Even if I am one of the gang, I am the alpha bitch. I have Vesta and Aries too, that's why. As mentioned previously, Aries is a masculine sign, and all that assertive energy in a woman cannot be corralled into being a nice, sweet girl. True. Before feminism, Aries women must have felt very frustrated. Now that there are many possibilities for expressing different sides of a woman's personality and sexuality, Aries women do not have to hide their drive for power and sexiness behind a bouquet of violets or a demure expression. Thank fucking Christ. These women have strong libidos and do not want to fool around, waiting to be pursued. They can make the first move and will be thrilled when it is accepted, and courageous enough to keep going if rejected. They tend to be sports-oriented and very active. I disagree with the sports thing. I don't get the appeal of most sports, especially just watching. Because that's like TV but boring. I do like some sports that are actually fun. They usually require one other person to do them with, like badminton. I like rollerblading. What else? Swimming. Swimming is great. Oh my god, do you want to go swimming next week? I'm getting my ID renewed. And once that's done, and my town pass too, so I can get a discount off of the pool. They offer discounts for people who have a town pass. And I really badly want to go swimming. Do you want to go at like at night or early in the morning? Because that's when there are the least people. And we can get like one of those huge slides all to ourselves and stuff. I've been thinking about that a lot. It's been on my mind. I have to see if I still fit into the bathing suit that I ordered. I know I've put on a little bit of weight since I last put it on. We'll see, I guess. Where was I? Oh yeah. These women have strong... Oh no, wait. No. We've already been here. Oh yeah. If for some inscrutable reason your Aries ram is shy, you may find that in bed her wild nature is liberated. It would be worth the effort to pursue the seemingly timid Aries. Oh, you're in for a treat. Aries has a good sense of style, but nothing fussy or frilly will suit her. True. Aries woman likes a tailored look and loves simple, sexy, black or red underwear. No complaints about that. She may love the idea of driving or riding a motorcycle with accompanying leather outfits. I actually have several leather dresses. Well, those are fake leather. So basically rubber dresses. I have rubber dresses. Leather is just a wee bit too expensive for me still. An Aries woman is all about a tough exterior and a sweet, powerfully sexy interior. She is not inhibited and is happy to have sex in unusual places. Yes. Who would say no to that? In an alley after a pub crawl, or by the window, or moving on. Sleeping naked after making love is usual. Sleeping naked in general is usual. I don't understand why not everybody sleeps naked. It's just the most comfortable thing. Clothes kind of like shift around on your body and they get in the way of everything. I don't like it. Fabric gets in the way of body-to-body cuddling. See, I was ahead of the book. On top or on the bottom, sideways or oral pleasure. Once the Aries woman gets boring, her engines are strong and she will turn to her lover with sheer delight and physical passion. She may say that she wants more than a one-night stand, but if there is not enough sexual energy between the two of you, she will move on without too many qualms. It simply is not fun for Aries to deal with a lover who can't match her ardor. Beneath the tough exterior of an Aries woman is a child who can be hurt easily. That's so true. The ego that is associated with Aries needs stroking, and she especially needs compliments and assurances that her sometimes tomboy sexuality is the best for you. She also wants to know that her breasts are just the right size for your hands. Again, you could say this to anybody and it would land well. Even in the foreplay department, Aries woman may require less than women of other signs. She likes to get right to the point and can be bold about telling you what she wants. Setting the scene. There is no best place or scene for sex for Aries because the important thing is the act itself, and it can happen anywhere. An Aries can be in the midst of a team meeting or a party, or mowing the lawn, or playing sports. Suddenly a notion occurs to him and he is on the phone or popping round to your place. He may not need to say much. He may have noticed a screened-in porch behind the bushes that conveniently has an air mattress on the floor. "Come on," he says, and you follow, wondering and hoping. Or maybe your Aries is a fireman, and one day at the firehouse you visit and he shows you an antique fire truck that happens to have a large back seat. All that leather. These unique places turn Aries on and are good for a change if the bedroom has gotten routine. Once you're both fired up, passion takes over and there is not too much thinking or planning. Plunge ahead. If you challenge Aries to wear thigh-high boots, then she will do it. Or challenge or own thigh-high boots. If you ask him to beat bongo drums with one hand and pleasure you with the other, he will enjoy the challenge. The major factor in setting the scene is desire. Everything else is unimportant. That's the next part. Should be fun. Sexy matches. the hot and not so hot combinations. You will know right away if this is a hot or not so hot combo for you. Aries does not hide feelings or pretend out of politeness. If you feel this fling is not so hot, give it a try for a while, but if there is no fire, patience will not make it happen. No matter what anyone else says, if you and your Aries have a spark, you will know it and enjoy it. I'm just gonna do this one right here. Aries and Taurus. Traditionally, fire and earth is not an easy combination, but Aries lights up and amuses Taurus. This combo can be hot because Taurus likes the spark Aries offers. It is good for a fling or a one-night stand, as over time Aries' fast pace will weary Taurus. Aries will also stretch Taurus' sexual repertoire to the limit. Both signs are physically strong and have good libidos for a time that you can enjoy their differences. It may not last, but it will be a good love affair. Challenge accepted. Oh my god. This is a sign, isn't it? I'm getting sleepy. What about you? Yeah? Yeah, it is light out already. Pulled an all-nighter too? Yeah, no, I'm just generally nocturnal, so it happens. That was yummy. That was genuinely yummy. I would buy this again. How are you feeling? Good. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your time. Oh, it's no problem. Come here. You know, I love having you over. Spending time with you doing stuff like lighting sparklers. I mean, who doesn't like that? Yeah, we should probably go to bed then. I'll go ahead and prepare everything, and we can work on getting some good rest in for the rest of the week. Okay. Yeah. I will clean up all these snacks and all this litter from all these sparklers.